am Dr. Marta Katalenas. I am a pediatrician in Round Rock, Texas. This is near the city of Austin, the center of Texas. And I'm here, like always, with my friend, Fer Candil. Hi, Fer. How are you?
Hi, Marta. Good. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
So I'm Fer Candil from Bahia Tapasamor. I'm a mother of 5. Also, there are not kids anymore. There are more adults now. The youngest is junior in college, so almost done. And I live in Round Rock, Texas also. With us today is a very, very special guest. We are so happy to have you, Veronica, because we met a few months ago, and I'm so glad she has Toddlers. So it's perfect to be part of our program, our Cooking for Toddlers. And hi, Veronica. Good to have you.
Hi, Marta. Hi, Fer. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Veronica. I'm from Spain. I live in Austin, and I'm mom to 3 kids. One of them is 5. The other one is 3. And then I have a baby who is 1. Not so much of a baby anymore, but she's still a baby. She's my baby. So, well, thank you guys for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you. So happy because I'm for sure you are gonna add more day by day how you live this pandemic, coronavirus, and everything. And today we are gonna talk about something I think is developing in all of us. Is the anxiety or eagerness. So I prefer to call anxiety because I think it's more appropriate. But I would like to ask you, Marta, is the same anxiety they develop in adults or in kids? We can talk about the same, or I think it's a little difference, like you can tell us.
Well, I think, Fer, we express and feel the anxiety at different levels depending on our age. So we all have the same reason to be anxious, which is this change in our lives that came so suddenly. But you know, we adults deal with it at a different level, because just think, like Veronica and her husband, they have to be adjusting to be at home all day with the children, thinking, some families thinking, am I gonna have a job after this is over? How am I gonna pay bills? So we adults worry about many other things that kids are not aware of. But for children, the main disturbance of their life that produces anxiety is that lack of the regular schedule. Kids do well when they have a routine, and that applies to all ages. So right now, the routine is out the window. They cannot do what they used to do. So it's important to create one at home. And with your children, Veronica, it's difficult because they are so little, and they are still different ages within that being all little. But you can still do it. You can make sure that they get up in the morning, that they brush their teeth, that they're age-related, take care of their area, their toys, their books, make sure that they do their schoolwork, make sure that they do their exercise, and just creating a schedule that you can even put on the refrigerator. Seeing that helps them. And remember, you're still in charge. Parents are still in charge. This boat needs a captain, and those are the parents. So they still need to do what we ask them to do. Don't you think?
Yes, like we try to follow a routine, and we have set this schedule, which is not their normal schedule, but it's more or less working for us. We try to do some homework in the morning, we exercise, we go for walks, we do a little bit of yoga when I see that their nerves are kind of getting crazy, and we do some cooking, and we do crafts. But I am for sure noticing, especially with my oldest, that he is experiencing some kind of anxiety because he can't focus as much as he used to. And I think that's because he has anxiety. Just, I don't know, that's the only explanation I came with.
Absolutely, yes. And it's important to, once you identify that that is happening at whatever time, when he's doing homework, or change the activity. Try to redirect, see if you can get him engaged in something, maybe step back a little bit, maybe something more fun, or change the activity a little bit. yeah, is very, very tough for kids. And let me tell you an idea that I learned a few days ago from a principal of a school. I saw a letter that this principal published, and his recommendation was to encourage kids, of course, older than your little ones, to create a journal. Every day, write down their feelings, what is happening in the world, even with pictures of their city without people walking around, YouTube videos, create images and words, just put words to those feelings. And your kids are little, but there are things that you can still do. And I think that's a great idea, to put it in a safe place. And then in a few years, they can refer back, because this is going to mark our lives. And we're living through, this is history. They can even investigate. When was the last time that this happened? Do you ever wonder? Well, it happened in 1918. Different society then. So it's good to read about that. What did they do? What consequences did it have? So kids who are old enough, they can investigate, and that releases the anxiety a little bit too.
So with little ones, could we do like maybe art pieces, like drawing and video, like videos asking them how they feel or things like that? Those things could work for little ones?
Absolutely, yes. They
Okay.
can interview you. You can prepare the questions ahead. Maybe their idea, you can guide them, and then just get in front of the camera and create an interview where they ask you things. They can do drawings, their own way of seeing their house, their own way of seeing their siblings or their pets. Or, yeah, those creative works is going to be a treasure that you have to show them when they grow up.
And I think it's very good to sort out your feelings, especially on the kids. It's gonna helping them to face them at the same time. I think it's a good idea.
I think expressing is difficult for kids. It's difficult for us. So you can imagine when you have a limitation in language and you're not so familiar with so many different feelings coming to you. And so, yes, let them express, help them express. Maybe you can say, okay, I think what you mean is that you feel sad, or that you cannot see grandma, or I think what you mean is that you feel, just guide them, help them express it. Help them with their drawings. Those are all things that you can do to decrease the anxiety of these times. Definitely.
That's very interesting. I think it's a good idea. Even the videos.
What I usually say to parents is that you don't want to sugarcoat anything. This is a terrible situation. They need to understand that, but they still have to follow our guidance. We are still the ones who are going to direct them what to do. And I want to share with you what one of my patients is doing. These are parents of teenagers. And the parents noticed that the kids were always in social media, communicating with their friends, but usually using just 4 little fingers, typing with 4 fingers, or with 2, I don't know. And so the parents said, you know what? You're going to learn to type with all your fingers. Now you have the time. And they created 15 minutes. That's nothing. 15 minutes a day. Those 3 kids had to work on this application to learn to use all fingers. And I think after 5 weeks, they are all typing up using all their fingers. And I think the first surprise were the kids. They didn't even know they would be able to do that in such a short time. And so, guide them, make them do things, make their bed, even if nobody's going to look at it. It's okay. Make them keep their work area clean. Make them help you in the kitchen, even if they make a mess. With your little ones, maybe they can help you beating eggs or pouring flour into something, even if you have to do extra cleaning after, but it will be fun. And so, especially use good humor, laugh when you can. Laugh at the situation. I think laugh is the best therapy.
And it's important, I don't know if you are doing that or not, Veronica, but to sharing your feelings with your kids, like they can see like you are human too, because I know in different ages, the kids can see you like a hero, and it's like, okay, my mom or my mom and my dad, very strong. They are always happy. Everything is going fine. No trouble, no problems. But it's really good or it's good to share with them sometimes, like, and mom and dad are worried too. We are tired too, but we are gonna try to do our best. I don't know, what is your experience or what is your recommendation?
I think I do share my feelings, although sometimes I filter some of the information, obviously, because they may not be ready to listen to the whole scope of my feelings. But yeah, I think I do share them with the older two, because the other one is a baby. And I also try to ask them, like, do you miss your friends? Are you willing to go back to school? Like, and I try to let them know that, like, school is gonna be closed for another 2 weeks, so we still have to wait for a little bit. But I try to keep them informed about what's going on, because I think also knowing helps them keep that stress low.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, so it's kind of like you validate their feelings because they are feeling the same thing at a different level. So just validating, yes, you're sad, I am too. And we as parents, we all have moments where our kids saw us, I don't know, crying or sad, or that's okay. At this point, I think it's good to give them hope, to validate their feelings, to not sugarcoat a situation that there's no way we can make, a happy one right now or 100% happy, but also give them some hope and say, together, just trust me, we're going to get through this, we're going to be okay.
of course, I love to talk about food. And I love to hear Veronica to say she's cooking with her kids at the kitchen, even if they mess up all the kitchen. I think it's a great idea. But I would like to know, before we're talking about the recipe today, how important is the food to avoid the anxiety or to help the anxiety don't grow up so much? You know what I mean? Like there are some meals or some dishes who help the kids not to be so anxiety or so depressing or something.
Well, I think, Veronica, you can tell us what you do with your little ones, but just as a common sense situation, I had to say that good nutrition is good for the whole body. The brain, being part of the body, is going to function better if you have good nutrition there. So food that is natural, that you prepare at home. I don't know if that's what you are doing, Veronica, with your kids.
Yes, that's exactly what I do. I'm very concerned about added sugars and additives that some packaged food have. So I try to read all the labels, and if I see that the same product has different ingredients used by one brand and by the other, I will choose the one that I consider healthier, but I don't trust the front of the package. I always read the label, the ingredients. That's where you have the full information, the whole thing. Because the front is always marketing. They're gonna try to sell you things that are not real, you know what I mean? So, and I also try to cook from scratch everything. Like when I let the kids help, they do things like rolling meatballs or they mix stuff. They do pretty basic things appropriate for their ages because they are small, but we have fun in the kitchen. Yeah, we cook a lot together.
Wow, that's great. That's great. Great to hear that, Veronica, because the idea when we start this channel, Cooking for Toddlers, was to help people to educate the palates of the kids. And I know the marketing works very well, especially in the processed food, to make the face of the food so attractive for the kids. Even when you have them on the car and the grocery store, and the kids their attention is going to these products, like, look, mom, I want this one, and I want this one, even for the pictures. They don't have any idea how it tastes or if they're gonna like or not, but the picture is very, very marketing and attract the kids to want it, like anxiety, like I want that. And all the kids is try to do the same.
That's absolutely true, and I deal with that every time I go with them to the grocery store. But they kind of know what my perspective is, so they will ask, Mom, that's not healthy, right? Maybe something with frozen pictures like Elsa and Anna on the front of the package, and my little 3-year-old, she will say, Mom, that's not healthy, right? Like it has frozen on it, but I shouldn't have it. So it makes me laugh.
That's so cute.
The message is going somewhere.
And yes,
I think it's also important to understand that they are kids, and
right.
you shouldn't aim to a 100% healthy diet. You
Absolutely.
should offer, but also you shouldn't deny. If they ask, you may give them the information and let them kind of decide, but mainly you shouldn't offer. If they ask, Mom, can I have that? You should tell them, okay, this has this. Do you still feel like having it? And sometimes they say no, because they hear words that they know it's not real food. So, and some others, I guess it's kids, so they just want to have it. And I have to.
Absolutely. And just keep going with that mentality and with those rules, Veronica, because Fer can tell you, and I can tell you, I have 3 kids too. Now they are adults, and I am proud to say that they like to eat good food. They like to cook, and they like to eat good food. They know the difference. So I may have done something right along the way, but just keep going with your rules. Just keep going.
I think it's try to educate. Exactly the same. You try to educate them in manners, writing, reading, in a good habits. It's exactly the same with the food. So I know it's hard, and the school sometimes is so difficult, so they don't look at them with all the details, try to keep them eating all the food, but at home we have to try, because I think it's totally worthy. And we can tell you, Veronica, Marta and I are seeing the results now. And it's funny when my kids now is calling me and say, Mom, I remember that recipe you cooked when we were kids. Can you give me the recipe? I would like to cook. And I was so surprised, like, oh my God, so it works. So believe me, Veronica, it works. All the work you are doing now is made roots on your kids and keep inside, and is developing when they grow up, and it's totally worth it.
Thank you, Fer. So speaking about recipes, what are we gonna learn today? What are we cooking?
A very simple, easy recipe that you can cook with your kids. Is very simple recipe. We are gonna cook meat sausages. So I know the kids love sausages. Yes, even the hot dogs, and it's fun and it's okay and they're good. But sometimes it's good to give them a good sausages with meat. Right? You can cook them. So not always hot dogs. So the ingredients we are gonna need for these meat sausages are meat sausages, of course. You can find, I don't like especially the spicy one, because I'm not cook very spicy food. You know that in Spain we don't cook a lot of spicy. And I like to use the mild sausages. Usually they are Italian, and they are good. And some garlic, just minced garlic, bay leaves, wine. You can use white wine or red wine, whatever you have at home, salt and parsley. So it's not very complicated. Few ingredients and easy to make it, because you have to put your pot with your olive oil, of course, always olive oil. When it's warm, just add the garlic. And meanwhile, the garlic is cooking and getting some color, you can ask your kids to helping you to punch all the sausages with a fork, because you don't want any surprise when you put the sausages on the oil, so be careful. Usually when my kids help me to do that, okay, the sausages is too much with the fork, but it's fine, it's perfectly fine. That's okay, no problem. So it's just put on the oil and just move them and flip up enough to take some color outside. Don't have to be ready to eat inside. It's just outside to seal the sausages. So when they have the color, just add some wine to the middle of the pot. Add the bay leaves, the salt, the parsley, and let's cover it with the lid and cook for 10 minutes until you can see the sauce is just reduced. The good thing of this recipe, you can add any side you like it. So if your kids love peas, that's perfect. You can make some peas with onion and sweet potatoes or butternut squash. That's perfect. So you can move with the olive oil, the onion, the peas, and everything, and put on the side, on the sausages. Of course, a cup of ketchup. They love it. That's fine. Or if you prefer to make fries, I prefer to do with my kids some sweet potatoes. Sometimes, don't to abuse a lot in the kitchen with regular potatoes. Like, it's a great resource. And when we are thinking on kids, it's all the time like, okay, let's make mashed potatoes, French fries, always about potatoes. But the sweet potato is a great resource. It's vegetable, it's good. So we can prepare some really good French fries with sweet potatoes. And that's all. It's not very complicated. It's so easy and fun.
It's great. I love a flavorful recipe with easy ingredients and not many steps. So that's great.
Yes.
That's my type of recipe. The one that is simple, easy to make. I think I'm gonna try this one.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad. I hope you like it. Send me your picture. You know that.
I will. Yes.
I love to do that. Thank you, everyone, for coming today. Thank you for staying with us, Veronica. It was really a pleasure to having you. And I think we have to talk more about anxiety in our next episodes because it's so important and all of us are very worried about it. So thank you, Marta, and see you next week.
See you next week. We'll wait here for you. Bye.
Okay, bye. Bye, Veronica. Have a wonderful week. Bye, Marta.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care. Bye.